welcome to my channel. My name is Kim and I am She from shemadeknits. Today's video is going to be the second video in my knitting podcast series, and today I want to go over some updates on pieces that I talked about last week, also a couple of whips, so works in progress, that I forgot to show last week, and lastly a few of the plans that I have for spring and summer knits. Alright, so with all of that having been said, let's get into it. So first we'll start with updates. So if you watched my video last week, I have this sweater on my needles. It's a cashmere and mohair sweater. It's really beautiful. It had started out as a free pattern that I was following, which I'll put here, but I was having a lot of trouble with the lace chart. And so I eventually just kind of scrapped that and did my own thing. I want to show you the progress that I made from last week. I completed the back panel. So I had a few rows of stockinette to complete, and then I did the 2x2 rip. Then using the mattress stitch, I seamed the front and back sides together, leaving the armhole. It took a little while. Black yarn is not the easiest yarn to work with, especially when seaming, but I accepted the challenge and challenge complete. Then I began one of the sleeves. So for the ribbing, I used 4mm circular needles, and here I have my 16-inch, so it's the perfect size for the sleeve, really. And I picked up, I believe it was 76 stitches. And then I just began the 2x2 rib. This honestly took me quite a while to do. Quite a few hours of work was put into this. So it's gonna take a while to complete the sleeves, but I'm trying really hard to stay patient and to just continue, work through it. I tend to get impatient and want to just do a different stitch just to make it go quicker, just so I can wear the piece, and then I'm not always the happiest with it because, well, it doesn't turn out exactly as I had wanted it, right? So I'm trying really hard to not do that with this. Yeah, that's this piece. If I can get like a little try-on clip or something of this, I am loving how it's turning out. The fit is perfect. It's super cozy and comfy, but it's still got some nice drape to it, and it's got some flow. I really like it. It's very flattering. The only thing that I'm a little iffy about is the yarn that I'm using. It's not the highest quality, and so it looks like it's pilling almost. It's not, but on camera it's hard to show without it looking kind of, I want to say messy, but it looks much nicer in person. Even though the quality of this yarn is not amazing, it's really soft. So I think that's everything that I wanted to say about this one. Wish me luck with these sleeves. I'm gonna be on Sleeve Island for quite a while, but it'll be worth it because it'll come out exactly as I want it to, and I am excited for that. So last week's video, I showed you all of my whips, and one of them was the first dress that I ever knit. I had decided to take the straps off and rework it, and I'll put a little clip just as a reminder. After finishing that video, I was really looking at it, trying to figure out, like, do I want to make it a skirt? Do I still want it to be a dress, but maybe like fold over the top like I had mentioned? I was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted. I didn't decide exactly what I wanted right away, but I did know that I wanted to fold over the top and create that kind of waistband. I was thinking more of like a bottom. Yeah, so I did the fold. I'm gonna just show you that because things did change. So I did that, and then I realized that I had made some mistakes closer to where I had started the piece, and I unraveled almost the entire thing, which is exactly what I said I didn't want to do, but I did. So I did that, and then I put it aside for a little bit, and I was thinking. I went on Lovecrafts. I just went through all of their knit patterns for like bottoms, so shorts, pants, skirts. I just wanted to see what was out there, just to see if anything sparked some inspiration, and I found a few different pairs of shorts. Everything kind of fell into place, and it just became clear I want a pair of secret shorts. So more like these ones here, very flowy, almost looks like it's a skirt because there's so many stitches. So I started that. Like I mentioned, I folded the top part over and then I sewed it on the inside. Then I went ahead and I did a full round of just knit stitches. And then I doubled everything. So I had 100 stitches to start with, and then I doubled to 200. And now I've just been knitting as much as I can. So it's gonna take a little while, because I mean 200 stitches are a lot. But where I did the increases, I decided to yarn over. I really like the detail that it created. Hopefully 200 stitches is going to be exactly what I need, because it would suck to have to go all the way back again. I feel like my inspiration is renewed and like I'm actually interested in working on this project again. I'm really excited for some secret shorts. I think it'll be really, really cute, and yes, it's gonna get really hot this summer, I'm sure, and it may not be great for everyday wear. I'll still be able to get some use out of them. So that's it for updates. I only wanted to show those two pieces because those are the only two that I worked on this week. Now I would like to show you two whips that I came across while I was going through a bunch of my stuff last week. I'll start with the bigger one. So I have started many blankets in my knitting and crochet experience, and the only ones that I've ever actually completed were small ones for this little cutie up here. Like this one that's back here, it's a cat blanket. I made one for a friend's dog at one point, and I just, other than my mood blanket, I don't really like making blankets, or at least I didn't. All of that to say, I started a blanket. But this one has some actual meaning to me, and so I feel like one day I will actually finish it. Last summer, so it hasn't been a full year yet, about 9 months ago, give or take, I got sober, and I've been keeping track every single day. I have a little note in my phone where it's like sobriety tracker, you know, and every few weeks or every month or so, I'll update it and, you know, count up the days that I have continued to stay sober. And I decided that I wanted to turn that into a blanket. I figured it would be really nice to have like a physical reminder that I see and use every day. This is where I'm at. I decided that I wanted it to be like a queen so that we could use it on the bed, but I definitely made it way bigger than that. I don't even remember how many chains I started with, but I'll show you a clip of the entire thing because I'm pretty sure I did take one already. So the way that I've done it is I'm doing 2 different stitches. So the first 5 rows I did single crochets, and then the next 5 rows I did double crochet mesh. I did a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. So it's super easy to count. I just go 5, 10, 15, 20, that kind of thing. It makes it a whole lot easier. And currently I have 26 days on here. As you can see, I'm just using a bunch of scrap yarn. There are some colors that I do have more of, and so I'm gonna try to use it throughout the entire thing. But yeah, I'm just taking it day by day, which is very realistic to the real thing. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes quite a bit of energy, but it is so worth it. So yeah, I'm not gonna say any more because I don't want to start crying. My next whip, yes, it's a work in progress, but I'm still not sure exactly what I want to make with it. So actually, if you want to make suggestions, please do. But let me show you first. So last summer, it's possible that you may have seen some very cute granny squares that I made. I'll put a photo. So I came up with this pattern myself. I have written it out and I have like drawn it out kind of thing. But anyway, point is that I started using another yarn, another type of yarn. It's a polyester and cotton blend. It's a thinner kind of cotton, so not a worsted weight, but I believe you would call it a DK, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if I am. I've been making these really cute granny squares. I already have 4 of them. They're very cute. They're wonderful. And I have another one that I only just started. Like I said, I'm not sure what I want to make with them. I do want to make something. I don't know what. I could do a bag, like a purse. I could do a backpack. I could do a blanket, but like I don't really see myself using that. I thought maybe a top. I think that could be interesting. Like use the squares as the front panel, the back panel, and the sleeves. That could be cool, even as a t-shirt. I also had the idea of maybe shorts or a skirt or something, but I don't know if that would be like flowy enough. Yeah, so I'm just not sure. Like I said, I definitely want to make them into something because I think they're just so cute. And the way I began them with the magic circle, I placed my stitches very strategically so that it would be kind of 3D. I hope you can see that. But yeah, I love it. I think it's adorable. And I would love to know, what would you make with granny squares like this? Let me know down below in the comments, please. And I have a ton of the yarn, so I can definitely go for a bigger project if I want to. So please, all projects, all ideas are welcome. So that's it for extra whips that I found throughout the week. And so now I would just like to show you some of my future plans, my spring and summertime plans. I have 3 projects that I want to show you. One of them, I would be using somebody else's pattern, which is actually the first one that I'll show you. So a few months ago, I was on Lovecrafts going through their patterns again, and I was going through the free section. And I found this really, really beautiful t-shirt pattern. I'll put it up here. And I would like to make it. Anything that I show you here that is not mine, even if it is mine, I will have it linked down below if there is a link for it. I think it looks beautiful. I think it looks really nice. Like it's flowy, but it looks like it's very airy and comfy too. So, and even though it's white, it doesn't look like it's see-through. After finding that pattern, I downloaded it, started looking through it and stuff. I think it looks really fun. And when I was thinking about what yarn to use, almost immediately, this one yarn that I have came to mind because I am not gonna go out and buy yarn for it. I have quite a yarn stash and it's mostly secondhand or thrifted yarn, but I have bought some things here and there. Like the yarn that I'm using for those granny squares, I did purchase that yarn. That yarn was from the dollar store actually, so it was quite cheap. But yeah, no, all of that to say I'm not going out and buying new yarn for it, and I already had yarn that I thought would be perfect for it. Anytime I go to a thrift store, it's almost impossible for me to not go and check like the arts and crafts and yarn sections. And one time while wandering the thrift store, I actually did find some really, really beautiful mercerized cotton yarn. I found them in like the completely wrong section, but it was just like one of those moments where it's like, it was meant to be. There were 3 of these big bags that had at least 5 in each, and each bag was $2.85. I believe I got about 17 or 18 of these little donuts, so I definitely have more than enough. Yeah, I think it's gonna look beautiful. I don't exactly remember what needle size or yarn weight is used for this pattern. I need to double check that, but this yarn is definitely very thin. So I might have to make some adjustments. It's really beautiful though. I did notice that some of the donuts have some staining to them. Like, there you go. So I mean, I'm gonna use all of the other ones, and then whatever is left over that is stained, I'm gonna try to wash it out. If I can't, then I think I might try dyeing them. So we'll see. I'll update you on that once I get to that point. Yeah, all of that to say, I think this yarn is gonna go perfectly for this t-shirt. If it doesn't and I change my mind, I'll let you know. So a few years back, I was very, very into raglan sweaters and tops and t-shirts, and I came up with this pattern right here. I don't have the pattern out to purchase or anything like that. It's really just like some horribly scribbled notes that I have, but I would like to make it again, just add some length because it was very, very cropped, as you can see. And the color that I used was a little bit see-through, which isn't always a bad thing. I don't always mind that, but I felt very restricted whenever I wore this top, so I did take it apart, but before taking it apart, I took so many notes. So I have that, and I think I will write it up as a pattern. I just don't know if I'll be putting it out. If anyone's interested, let me know. I have never put out a piece of knit or crochet clothing before. I would want to make sure that like sizing and everything is inclusive and perfect, and I've never had the opportunity to do that. So all of that to say, yeah, this is what I want to make, and the yarn that I want to use for it is actually the same brand and purchased from the same place as the yarn that I'm using for the granny squares. This one is in the color black, of course, my favorite ever. So it's 70% polyester and 30% cotton. I've used this yarn before for different projects. It's really, really nice. I probably wouldn't use it for my hair towel pattern just because I would prefer that to be 100% cotton, just so you get like the best, like all of the benefits from using 100% cotton on your hair. But for clothing pieces, I feel like this will be totally fine. And it's also a little bit thinner than most cotton yarns are. Like, it's not a worsted, it's possibly a DK, possibly a little bit smaller than that. I have used this yarn actually to make these mesh bucket hats, and it's really, really nice. And I do believe that I used a 5mm crochet hook for those, and I do have that pattern available on my Etsy actually, so I'll link that down below. But yeah, this yarn works perfectly for that. All of that to say, I will have to make quite a few adjustments because, like I just said, the yarn is not the same weight as previous cotton yarns that I've used, but I think it's going to be really, really pretty as a raglan t-shirt. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then one more project that I really, really want to make is one of these drawstring backpacks. So I was definitely a 2000s kid, and I had one of these when I was younger. I believe it was either baby blue or pink. Like, I'll put up some photos just so you know what I'm talking about. But I don't know if anyone remembers those swishy pants, so the ones that you would walk and they would make sounds. It was kind of like the material of, say, a windbreaker or like a spring jacket. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that was the material that my bag was made out of. That's what I remember most about it. But anyway, I loved this bag. I used it until, you know, the strings were destroyed. It was very well loved. And so I decided that I want to make my own version. I do have an idea for a knitted version, and then I do also have an idea for a crocheted version. I'm not 100% sure which I will do. I might end up doing both, but I do know that at least for one of them, I want to use this yarn. This is the Classic Cotton by Loops and Threads. It's like I think it's called like jute or something along those lines. It's a really beautiful color, and I really like the Loops and Threads cotton, especially in the bigger skeins. I feel like they're softer than Bernat cotton or Lily Sugar and Cream, and it's actually just the tiniest bit thinner than a worsted weight. It's wonderful. It's really, really nice. I've used this for hair towels in the past, and it works up really, really nicely. The towel does come out a tiny bit smaller, but it's not a huge difference. It's not a very noticeable difference. So I would still recommend it for that as well. But anyway, I want to make one of the bags out of this. I would also love to make a black one, of course. And then I'm even thinking of possibly sewing one, because I definitely do want to make liners for these bags because I feel like they will just stretch out if I don't. So I do want to line them, but I also have a couple of ideas for like just some material ones, you know, just sewing them together. I don't have any sewing skills other than just needle and thread and hand sewing, but even my hand sewing, it's really not that good. I do want to learn how to use a sewing machine. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Who knows? But that's just another idea that I have. Oh, and for the crochet version of this, I was thinking the lemon peel stitch would be really cute. So the entire time you're doing single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and then the next row you do the opposite of what you did the previous row. So if you had done a single crochet, you're going to do a double crochet on top of that, and then a single crochet on top of the double crochets. So you just keep alternating between the two, and it comes out really, really nice. I don't know if there's another name for it, but I just know it as the lemon peel stitch, and I think that would look really, really cute and also be quite sturdy for a drawstring bag. So that's my idea. All right, so those are all of the plans that I currently have that I'm really excited for. I do have some other loosely made plans, but I'm just not ready to talk about them just yet. Once I figure out what I want to do, then I will. I also just don't want to overwhelm myself with too many ideas, because then at least half of them will not get done, and that would suck. So I just want to focus on a few that I'm really excited about so that I'm more likely to actually make them. That is everything that I wanted to talk about today. I would like to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, then please give it a like and subscribe. I would love to have you here. Anything that I mentioned in this video that has a link to it, I will put in the description below. And don't forget to leave me your suggestion for the granny squares, what you think I should make out of them. That would be awesome. So thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye.